Hey everyone, Kathleen Celmins here, CEO and co-founder of Amplify Now. This is Doing Marketing Differently, and today with me I have Tyler Hakes. Would you like to introduce yourself and your company, Tyler?
Yeah, hey, thanks for having me, Kathleen. My name is Tyler Hakes. I'm the strategy director and principal at Optimist. Optimist is a full service content marketing agency, and we work with a lot of different companies, but generally technology companies, startups, B2B, SaaS. That's kind of our bread and butter.
And what do you guys do?
So we are sort of a strategic growth partner, is the way that I like to think about it, for companies. And so we provide content marketing services as sort of an end-to-end team. So when we work with clients, we kind of come in and sort of work as a full service content marketing team for their company.
That's awesome. We've started working with a lot of people that are pretty new to the online world, are transitioning into online, or adding it as a lead mechanism. And he told me that I have to stop using the word content because he said he was in a meeting with people and he's like, okay, so what's everybody doing for content? And like 5 people raised their hand and he said, okay, yeah. One guy said, what's content? And 4 other people said, oh, that was my question too. Oh yeah, it's fun to talk about marketing with other marketers, but it's easy to forget that not everyone else does marketing, and understands like that content is, the part of your website that changes basically, right? Like,
Yeah.
So I found that really interesting. When people are like, when companies come to you, do they already know they need content?
Yeah, pretty much. We try to be pretty proactive about kind of qualifying, disqualifying, potential clients, and that's a big one. Is we're not really in the business of selling people on content marketing as a growth strategy. We want to be the partner that they come to when they have sort of committed to that as a part of their growth, and are ready to invest in it.
Yeah, I find that really, like, I find content really interesting too, because it's a tougher, I think sometimes it's a tougher sell. I talk about it like planting, if you're hungry, planting a, I don't know, fruit plant isn't going to solve your immediate hunger.
Exactly.
But you're not going to get, and I live in the desert, so you're not going to get lemons without planting that tree anyway. What do you 100%. Think? Because I love, like, I've read your case studies a bunch. I love watching your front facing, like what things are going on in with the clients that you serve. Do you have a good story about something that content did that surprised even you for your clients?
That's surprising. I mean, I'm always a little bit surprised sometimes when we create content more for like acquisition, and then we find out later that the clients are like using it, like their sales team is using that content and it's helping them, like, in kind of sales, from a sales enablement perspective and things like that. We are pretty like goal focused with every piece of content that we create. So like we think of it as like having a very specific job. And so anytime our clients kind of repurposing or reusing that content for different things, that's always a little bit new and exciting, and it's sometimes surprising. The other thing that I would say too is just like the impact that our work has on like the entire site from like an SEO perspective can be sometimes pretty surprising. We've worked with some companies for years, and we've seen sort of slow and consistent growth, and then eventually like all of their product marketing pages really start to rank really well, or like their homepage will start to rank for like a super competitive high value keyword that they've been trying to rank for years, and so you'll see sort of the hockey stick starts to happen from a growth perspective, which is always exciting.
That is really exciting, especially when it doesn't happen by accident, right? Because you can have a piece of content go viral and have it do nothing for you. But if you start building that foundation, and then all of a sudden it's not one piece of content that, some giveaway or whatever that's getting all this attention, it's like I mean, having your homepage rank is awesome.
Yeah, well, and I think like that's a big thing that has been sort of a learning process for me. Is that when we started Optimist, we really tried to focus more on like kind of traditional content marketing, so blogs and ebooks and that kind of stuff. And really, what we've realized in working with more and more clients is that like you can't draw a clear line between like content marketing and sort of more traditional SEO. Like they have too much overlap. And so when we think about our strategy for the clients, like we have to take into account like what does the rest of their site look like? What are their what like is their homepage optimized for keywords? Do they have feature pages that explain in sort of a user focused way what their product actually does or who it serves? And so, yeah, really thinking about that strategy as a cohesive piece, even if we're only doing the content part, right? At least providing them like some kind of a roadmap for what the rest of the site needs to look like and how we can make those parts work together.
That's really interesting. I don't like when I also see that content can't just exist in a silo. But I don't think of it from that side, although what you said is really true. What I see is often you can't talk about content and then not talk about digital. So a lot of times people will come to us with like, I understand I need content. And then they don't have any opt-ins and they don't have any landing pages and they don't have any forms. They don't have any of the what I think of as like the traditional digital marketing stuff. And so like if every blog post ends with book a call, you're not going to get as much traction as if you have something a little less bottom of the funnel oriented that way. But you're right, like it's all part of the same like world. I find it all really interesting. I even think of like social media as a layer that exists after you've got content on your blog. How do you guys handle when a client's like, oh, I need content for social media? Do you just refer them out?
Yeah, so I'm pretty upfront about clients with this. Like we don't manage like a client media social accounts. We can create like sort of micro content and like copy and stuff to promote the content that we're creating. That's generally being published on their site. So just to clarify there, and that's actually a good point too, is that as you sort of mentioned, some people don't necessarily even understand what it means when you say content. Other people have different notions of what that includes and what that entails. For us, like the content that we're creating is generally like articles, blogs, that kind of stuff that lives on the client site. And so yeah, anything outside of that, like again, we can generally provide some kind of support to like help promote and amplify the content that we're creating. But yeah, we're not going to like own your social media channel. And I think like that's a kind of a whole separate art is creating content specifically for those social channels. And so in that case, yeah, we would definitely refer to someone else who might be better suited for that and knows that stuff. I mean, it's again, it's sort of a different strategy in and of itself. Like social can both be a channel for kind of a traditional like blog or article focused content marketing strategy, but it can also be its own strategy, its own channel. And so if you're looking for somebody to really manage and own your social media, I think you need somebody who approaches it as sort of a social first and its own channel first.
Yeah, I agree. And I think like with some companies, I'm thinking of one in particular that doesn't have much of a social media presence. What I told them was that let's build the layer of content first, and we can use that content as standalone content for whatever you're going to post on LinkedIn. But you have 8 connections on LinkedIn, and that's your biggest social media presence. Like,
yeah,
I'm not here to tell them that social media matters. They've been fine for 25 years. But,
right.
It's one of those things like with some traditional brick and mortar businesses, getting online, like the website was step one. And so like, you don't want to throw, I don't know, an entire body of work at somebody when they're just now online. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I find it all really interesting. I found out about you through your Slack channel. Can you tell me like how those two things exist in your mind in parallel?
Yeah, so we started. So it's been probably over a year now since we started our Slack group, top of the funnel, and that really came out of discussions with our team about kind of what what happens next for Optimist, and what else can we be doing, and how do we, what's kind of the next phase of our company and for our team. And a lot of things that we wanted to do or were interested in doing, revolved around having, I guess, like a broader group and helping educate people and building, more educational resources and events and different things like that. And so I came up with the idea that, like, okay, if we could start to build a community of people, there was an opportunity there to help grow the team at Optimist, so we can kind of use that as a way to recruit and find talented people to join our team. B, we have a lot of people who come to us looking for help, or they're looking for services that we don't provide, or they want to hire freelancers to just do writing or something that's kind of not a great fit for us as an agency. And so again, having kind of a broader network to say, okay, hey, we've got this opportunity, like, can we connect people and help people figure stuff out. And then also just wanting to kind of teach and help other people grow and kind of nurture other content marketers and other SEO folks in the industry and share what we've learned, I think has always been a big part of what we're hoping to do. So yeah, really a lot of things that we can do, sort of on the back of having that community. And so that was really kind of the original idea for it.
And we'll link to that too. So wherever people are watching this, the Slack channel he's talking about is the top of the funnel Slack channel. It's free right now as of this recording. And what I like about it is that it's got a lot of my people in it, right? Like a lot of people who speak the same language, who are working on similar things. It feels a little like, I don't know, like a water cooler if we were all working at an agency together, But
Yeah.
I really like that. It's fun. It's not too noisy group. I like that it's not. There's not something to check every minute.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I always try to balance that a little bit, because like I want to obviously keep people engaged, and we want to have new content and stuff for people to check out and discuss and whatnot. But yeah, obviously it's not the work that you're sitting down to do every day, so we don't want to create too many distractions.
Well, great. So where can somebody find you if they want to learn more about Optimist or Top of the Funnel?
Yeah, so the main way to find us is just our website, YESOptimist.com. You can also find me on Twitter. I'm just at Tyler Hakes. And then, yeah, if you want to join Top of the Funnel, you can just go to YESOptimist.com/tofu, TOFU, and that'll take you right to the landing page, or it's in our navigation as well, so it shouldn't be hard to find.
Awesome. Thanks so much. This was a fun conversation.
Thanks a lot, Kathleen. Thanks for having me. Have a great day.
You too.